Hi everyone, welcome back to our React course. So today we'll get into props. So to understand what is props, how they are used, and what is the main purpose of them. Okay, so props basically is like an argument, just an argument, a function argument. But as you know, in React we have something called components, and they are like functions which they return JSX. So we'll see an example how to use props, and through there we'll try to understand what is the purpose of the use. So we created up to now one single component which is called header, and that header give us a logo and give us a title in here for our page. Okay, let's say for example this header, I want to use same header on other page, but I don't want it to have to-dos. Let's say I want to have another title. Okay, let me create another page so we have a full working demo. So under pages, I want to create, for example, an about page. So under pages, I'll create about. So we need same naming of our rows when you're using Next.js template, about. And this one, I'll say const, and I'll say about, and it is returning for us now again the header. The header, and see here I have an option to import, so to import it for me, close, and I'll say export default about. So now if I go here, I go to about, okay, 404 because I write it wrong. There we go. Okay, so let's say in this about screen I want to do the same header, but I just want this text to have about me, for example, and I don't want to go and create another component because it will be just too much work, and I know I have one same component which have same styling, only the text is different. Okay, so how we can make this component, the header, reusable in a way I can change text whenever I want. So that's when props come in, or as you know, argument for functions, but in React we say props or properties. So I will come here, I will say this head is expecting a props, and this will be an object, and that props, for example, have something called an property called, let's say, call it anything you want. Let's say title. Okay, so that will be read there, but see here it's gone because it doesn't exist when I call it. So I go, for example, to about page. I'll say here, so that property used here, it needs to be same here. So title, and then I will say, okay, this one is about me. There we go. See that? Wow, why I'm typing continuously this wrong? About me. Okay, but if I go back to home page, it will be nothing there because I didn't pass that property, and my component is expecting that property to be there. So I'll go back to my index. I'll say title again, same property I named another component, and I will say it is a string and it is to do's. Do this, and there we go, it came in. Okay, let me go back to our header, which have the props there. So another way we said here is an object. So it's, you can call this props anything you want, but the standard way where everyone now is having this name, they use props, so it's like standard usage. So you can stick to it as well, or it's just you can change it if you want to. The other way we use is, for example, you remove these props and make an object and put directly your property there directly, and then you come here and you just access that property straightforward. And this one, why it's nice, it helps you when you come to the components. First time you open it, you just look at the properties and you know what is expecting. So you want to go and use it, you can say, okay, it's expecting title, for example, it's expecting, I don't know, action buttons. So even you can pass functions and objects, you can pass as many things you want as properties. One thing remember is the properties are read only. You can't come here and change it. The properties purpose is that you read it from the parent component and you just use it here. You don't change it, you just read it and use it. That's it. And the reason why is that in React, they try to keep one-way flow of your data from up to down, and that instance or that properties we are passing, it might not become only to headers, might becoming going also to other components as well. So you don't want to cause a problem where you change it here and create destruction and destroy your whole application. So if you want to change, there's something called state that we'll learn later. But for now, learn that properties only read only. You pass from the parent component to the child component. In our case here is header, and you pass the properties you want to it, and you want that child components to render it. So let's recap what we did. So props or properties, they are just arguments, like a function argument, but they are passed into our components here in React. It's help the child components to read that property and display it or do some actions depending on that property. And also it help our components itself to be reusable. You can reuse it whenever you want. Like now we use it in about page. We just change the title, and then we use it in the home page where we change the title. So let me again go to about, and I have about me. Another thing to add up is that you can have a default value. You remember here, for example, if you come to about and I removed it, okay, it disappeared because I didn't pass the title. And let's say I want to have a default value. So if I don't pass the property, I want to display a default value. I can come here and I say equal, and I say, for example, awesome me. And see, it displays my about page because about page don't have the title or the property passed in, but it pick up the default one when it doesn't exist. Okay, and give that, and sometimes that's handful for you in some scenarios when you're doing your own development.